Do you guys want to come with a background on your own, or do you want to use
I already kind of have a
relationship tables?
I'm okay with like my personal
the
background,
relationship
but I'm
table work?
fine with the relationship table.
Let me read you guys the intro to the adventure, and then we'll go over relationship tables.
So Storm King's Thunder,
Storm King's Thunder.
We're planning session. We're basically doing. We just finished Curse of Strahd, and we're basically session zeroing our Storm King's Thunder.
Yeah.
We're gonna start next week, and we're gonna have.
Can we take next week? I think I have some stuff going on next week.
When do you
I
have
need to talk to my wife.
When do you have the house sit? April. It is April.
It is. It's like the
It's
last
May.
week.
It's not next week, but for 2 weeks after that.
Okay. I still think you should bring the puppy over.
Okay.
What kind of puppy is it?
He's a Sheltie,
Oh, that'll be fun.
and even though he's over 3, he has not calmed down yet
That's cool.
at all.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right.
Take next week off.
Can I talk to my wife?
Yes.
Let me, as a man who's been married for a decade, let me just double check with my wife to make sure that my schedule's fixed. The Savage Frontier, also known as the North, is a cold, rugged, sparsely populated land with snow-capped mountains, rocky hills, sprawling forests, and foggy vales. Isolated strongholds of ancient burial mounds and the ruins of many forgotten empires dot this vast landscape. Bounded by the Sea of Swords to the west and the desert of Anauroch to the east, the Savage Frontier extends as far north as Icewind Dale and as far south as the town of Daggerford. Old roads stretch across this great expanse, linking the Dwarven strongholds and mines in the mountains to the coastal settlements. Frontier towns and fortified outposts dot the in-betweens. These roads are long, lonely, or sometimes poorly defended, and they are therefore dangerous to traverse. In fertile valleys, towns and cities have sprung up, separated by dozens if not hundreds of miles of untamed wilderness, haunted by bandits, barbarians, and monsters. Evil dragons were stirred into action by their dark queen, Tiamat, threatening the settlements of the Savage Frontier. Ultimately, they were defeated and forced to withdraw to their lairs, while Tiamat was banished back to the Nine Hells. Fear of the dragon's wrath has faded quickly, with the coming of a new threat, giants. The people of the North are no strangers to giant incursions. Frost giants have long claimed the spine of the world as their demesne, and the hill giants are known to scrounge for food in the untamed hills. But now, in the past couple of months, giants of every kind have emerged from their strongholds in force to threaten civilization as never before. And not just frost giants and hill giants, but also stone giants, fire giants, and cloud giants. All of the giants are in an uproar. Reports of giant attacks throughout the north have reached the coastal cities of Luskan, Neverwinter, and Waterdeep, stoking fears that the giants are waging war against humans, dwarves, elves, and other small folk. Now, the four of you have been given a hot tip by one of your connections in the city of Waterdeep. You found out that Lady Velrosa Nandar, one of the open lords of Waterdeep, has requested that a party go down to a little town that she keeps as a family home for summering and hunting, called Nightstone. There have been various orc attacks in the area lately, and she would like somebody to go make sure that the perimeter is secure and investigate the Ardeep forest north of the town, where some of the orcs have been seen coming out of. Now this town is notable because last year there was some conflict with some of the wood elves in the area, and Lady Velrosa Nandar's husband was killed in the conflict. So,
I'd like to steal his axes, please.
that's been your mission. You've been asked to go down to the city of Nightstone, secure the defenses against orc incursions, and if possible do some investigation in the northern Ardeep forest. Be aware that the population is a little standoffish because of the conflict that occurred last year, and in many ways they're still recovering. So diplomacy is expected. Okay? All right, pick up on that. Tell me about how you guys met.
What I wanted to wait to say to him, because he called it metagaming.
Yep.
The last time Torque was telling his story. Torque, I think pretty much every iteration of Torque, kind of like Phoebe and Friends, actually can remember his past lives. Like little bits and pieces of them. Like he knows, like at this point, he knows a little bit about all his past lives. And he can sense the souls of other people he's adventured with.
Okay.
I do have like an actual backstory for him. But as for how we came together, my interest on rolling on the table was piqued a little bit.
Okay.
Because I know I'm from another continent,
Mhm.
and I came here. I actually, when I was telling that story, that was the actual story.
Okay.
He was from House Jurassic. and came
Each
over
of you
here.
guys roll a d20, and we'll start with whoever gets the highest.
Oh, I need to roll towards dice. I also have something terrible for you. I shouldn't say it like that.
Oh. You have my attention, sir.
We doing the relationship table?
Electricians?
Yeah.
In what area?
DFW?
I mean, I know some that work Frisco. Electricians don't work huge areas. They usually work.
I
one
mean,
huge
like,
city.
if I wanted someone to possibly teach me shit? If that was the reality?
Yeah, I know a guy up at Frisco Electric, but you probably don't want to drive that far. I can put out some feelers. I know plumbing companies are hurting right now. I could get you on a plumbing company in no time. But if you want to do an electrician
But
work,
it would have to be like part-time while I'm learning shit until like.
no, they'll usually bring you on as an apprentice, and you'll have your apprentice card for 2 years. I mean, it's just like college. So you go 2 years, that's your associates, and at 4 you get your tradesman's, and then I think 6 is journeyman's, and then at 8 years, master plumber. By the time, I mean, but the advantage of our college degree is you're making money the whole time. Now, you're probably starting out at like 14, 15 an hour, and you're digging holes.
Yeah.
As a plumber. Electrician, you're starting out 14, 15 an hour as an apprentice, but you don't have the same kind of beating.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
We doing the relationship table?
Yep.
All right.
You down for that?
Yep.
Because I didn't really have
I
an
have
idea.
no idea what it is.
I imagine it's a table that says how we meet each other.
Yep.
Works for me. 5.
17. If you want me to go with my first roll, it's still better than this. The only guy I have for my tabaxi
Are we broadcasting right now?
Yeah.
By the way, just because I like to give credit where credit is due, this is from Reddit user Foofyboo. This is their party bond generator. Foofyboo. Thank you.
Fifi,
These are my.
I'm rolling 1d20 or 2?
1d20, beat a 17.
Okay, I did not beat a
Okay,
17.
Austin, you're up first. Who would you like to form a bond with first?
Ooh, there's features
Probably
and
the
traits
wizard.
or description.
Probably the wizard.
Yeah, you might put this under description and make some notes. The wizard? Okay, go ahead and roll d20.
Just give me 1 second.
The best way to describe your relationship with, are we going with Bibble or Bobble?
Bobble.
The best way to describe your relationship with Bobble is?
I need to find my notes. I don't know where the fuck they're at. Background?
Description and then personal characteristics.
Phones. There we go. See, I actually have some stuff here. Okay, so 19 for my relationship.
A 19. You guys are fellow mercenaries in some way. You met as you were working as soldiers for hire at one point in time in the past. Do you want to roll d4 and tell me months or years?
What's your name?
Radiant Dust. Years.
Years? Roll d4. You guys met when you were working as mercenaries 3 years ago. Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20. You guys.
8.
You were working as mercenaries, and you two first met in a brothel,
That
a
makes
house
sense.
of ill repute.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. All right. Now,
I'm gonna say we bonded in the brothel. We were already working as mercenaries together, but when we went in there, that's when we bonded. Found
What's
out
your
we
name?
were into similar things.
Torque.
Brothel, Ian.
I'm actually going with.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have bonded with David's character, so I was going with Sir Torque, the Iron Grass, Indigo Knight, all that garbage. But since he's not going to be playing unless he's like a drop-in character,
Sure.
I'm going with Torque the Rishik and scrapping that whole backstory.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is he alright? He was just dying for like
He's
I'm time
fine.
away
He's
from
just
family, and now he's locked back in because of Christy's new job.
Life out.
yeah. I think he
I
just
know.
has a lot of stuff going on.
The
Life finds a
way
way.
you perceive your relationship with Torque, go ahead and roll D20 on it.
9.
You guys actually 9?
Yep.
You guys met on the outskirts of a war that was happening in. Go ahead and roll another D20.
Okay, now he's rolling for our relationship. Is he going to view our relationship different than I'm going to view it?
Possibly.
Okay.
4.
A war that occurred at the perimeter of a graveyard. So there was a war over some sort of ceremonial burial ground. You and Torque first met each other at the edge of that great conflagration.
Why can't I?
Okay.
Okay.
This is where I do how long ago?
Yep. Months or years.
I'm willing to do years again.
Years? 2 years ago. So you've known Bobble longer than you've known Torque. Okay.
Oh, I put
Would
in
I have been
Bibble.
with you when you met him?
I mean, I don't know. Just because we know each other doesn't mean we do everything
Well, we
together.
bonded.
We did bond in a brothel.
If you
Oh no,
just
did you
run
come
off-
with me into this war?
Probably not.
Yeah, Chippa.
We did the wobbly H. You have to go with me now. Okay, which one of you
Remember,
guys
it's
had a
not gay
higher
if it's in
roll
a
on the
three-way.
D20? What did you roll?
7.
7? What did you roll on your D20?
Oh, 5.
A 5? Okay, so Torque, you'll go next.
Give me 2 seconds to get into.
Is Gabrielle gonna roll her own, or is she just getting added on by the person giving us the quest? That's the easiest way.
She's been sent as one of your guides
Okay.
for the local area.
I'm down
She
with that.
knows the Ardeep Forest well. She's worked ranging it. Has a somewhat decent relationship with the elves.
Okay, we're just doing bonds right now. I can do all my flaws and ideals and personality traits later. Okay.
I've already done all that. You're behind.
Did you roll for him?
I did.
Okay.
I did, because it was fun that
Oh,
way.
I already have some bonds apparently.
Yeah, I have some too.
Is there a way to make new ones? Or you just keep typing in that one spot and
I mean-
it's not a character limit?
Yeah, you can just type. I just hit enter a couple times and kept going. My first one is ever since as a child. Heard stories about a lost city. I aim to find it, learn its secrets, and return home to prove I'm the best treasure hunter. I should probably change these now that I'm not a treasure hunter.
Or keep them.
Yeah, could be fun.
You can be a mercenary and a treasure hunter.
Yeah.
No, but I'm an arcane trickster, not a treasure hunter. Well, that was the plan. I guess I don't really know yet because I'm only a level 2. These, by the way, are the guys that were fucking you guys up with traps, and I hope they work the same as my sneak attack damage.
All right, Torque.
What am I rolling?
Your relation. Who do you want to go first with, wizard or rogue?
Wizard. I always run around with wizards.
Okay. You met him. Go ahead and roll D20.
13.
I suppose I don't need this anymore.
You met him at a local business,
Their version.
a small local shop, and your relationship could best be described as.
I met him at an herbalist.
Met him at an herbalist, and you could best describe your relationship as roll a D20.
Tumultuous.
It's not that simple.
16.
16.
Maybe it is.
Roll again.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 5. I'm like, oh, what's he waiting for? 5.
Your relationship could roughly be described as master and apprentice.
What the fuck are you
It's
gonna
funny
teach me?
because I really should be as an arcane trickster with a wizard tooling around with
This is
him.
more fun.
It is.
Now, who's the master? Who's the apprentice?
We'll find that out later.
I'll be the master. You're very jealous because he gets to be my apprentice.
We'll find
I'm
out
gonna
later.
say I'm learning it anyway.
I'm teaching you all the wrong stuff.
You at least believe that you're in a master and apprentice relationship.
Okay, that's interesting.
Dad issues.
I have already named him commander, but I also never named myself. He's recon. David was gonna be lieutenant, but I'm gonna make Tegan
You
lieutenant.
just think that I'm your apprentice. You keep trying to teach me stuff. I'm just like looking away, like, what the hell, this dude?
You think you're the master, he thinks he's the master.
Yeah, we're all like,
You introduce each other as my
Well, I mean,
apprentice. and
well, so what if it depends on what his relationship is to me? Because
yeah, we'll see.
Is
So
it?
I never got that. I think whatever of the other person part.
No,
Because
there's
they're all
different.
different?
There's different
Yeah.
options.
Uh,
Go ahead and roll for how you view your relationship with
Star-Lord?
Star-Lord. Stardust.
That's part of my character. He can never get his name right because I couldn't for the first
Starspawn, something like that.
Sprinkle Town.
Your relationship with him is marked by what you perceive as an omen.
Did I tell you a number already?
No.
No, I'm giving you the setup.
Oh, okay.
It's marked by what you perceive as an omen.
14.
Revolving around. Roll again.
3.
Regarding what you believe to be
This is the
a
relationship?
fated victory. Well, right. Your relationship with him began at this war around a burial ground. When you saw him, you saw at the same time an omen of an inevitable victory that was going to occur.
I'm not gonna write down what you guys think of me. I'll let you guys handle that stuff.
I wrote down what y'all thought of me.
You
Right.
believe,
Notice.
you
Well, I
believe
made a
that
difference
his
that says true
appearance in
relationship.
some way was an omen of your inevitable triumph.
I will have to keep him alive.
At least that battle. Okay? And you generally perceive him as, go ahead and roll a d20.
Inept. But I gotta keep him alive for the victory.
12.
Yeah, 12.
You perceive him almost with like a sibling-like affection
Alright.
for that.
I dig it.
Okay. Bobble.
No, see, I figured out the
You're-
locations and how long we've known each other. Now you guys figure out what you think of me.
Oh, okay.
One of your fondest memories of Radiant Stardust is linked to
This is what I
It's
get for
linked
using
to-
a goddamn name generator.
a particular object that came into your possession. And this object is, roll a d20.
What it is called him, Chris.
8.
A carved wooden duck.
What was that?
Your relationship,
Uh-huh.
his relationship
Uh-huh.
with Starlight Express is best defined in this memento
Okay.
that he has of their relationship.
We
and it is
stole
a
it
You
from
carved-
stole it from the brothel.
Yeah.
It was used.
Its
It
name is
was
Mr.
used.
Quackers.
It was a little sticky.
Yes, Mr. Quackers, the carved wooden duck that you stole from a brothel.
And we still use.
Yes. And your general opinion of Radiant is, go ahead and roll another d20.
Did you roll for what you perceived of us?
No.
How you viewed us?
Nope.
Okay.
I got
I don't know.
how we met, how long ago, and where we
Okay.
like bonded.
Is he not gonna roll for how he perceives us?
Everybody gets a little something different.
Oh, okay.
Like you got the omen thing, he's getting the object thing.
Yeah, but we both got ways that we perceive. Like I got ways that I perceive us. He gets ways that he perceives. Is he gonna
18.
get? That's
18. He is your drinking buddy, man.
That actually makes sense in this
He's a
whole
drinking buddy.
scenario. Mercenaries in a
And-
brothel who drank together.
Of course, Torque is a drinker, and he's just constantly trying to muscle his way into the drinking circle. guys, why are you drinking without
This,
me? Come
this
on.
goes in the paragraph that we have to write. So I'll help with that.
Now, your relationship with Torque is interesting to your magical research because there's a particular piece of information that you believe can be gleaned by studying him. And that
Apprentice.
that piece of information is related to, go ahead and roll a d20.
My apprentice. You are my apprentice.
You're my study subject. 17.
How to start a war.
How to start one. Jesus, Franz Ferdinand, what the fuck are you doing?
Studying him to learn how to start a war?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is amazing.
Will glean how to start a war. From Torque.
The pacifist who only heals people and believes in universal.
Healthcare?
Yeah.
And you generally
We'll
view
figure out how to undo him.
And you generally view Torque as, go ahead and roll another d20.
Oh boy.
He thinks you're in a master-apprentice relationship.
6.
You believe it is strictly a business relationship.
Yeah, you're learning this.
Strictly business.
I'm so sad right now. I've suddenly become very sad about our relationship. Roll again.
I'll give you one on this. You generally perceive yeah. Go ahead and give me one on. We'll do some kind of opinion checks on him.
Me on him?
Yeah.
3?
Almost the same way you would feel about a childhood friend. I mean, just always glad to see him. You guys have been in and out of each other's lives at different times. You worked as mercenaries in the past together. You've collaborated on spells and research and adventures, and you're just always really
Let's catch
glad
up
to
over a drink.
Sounds
and
good.
you're drinking buddies. Yeah.
Let's bring our study subject.
And generally, the way you
Apprentice.
view Torque is
I don't want that one. I don't want that one.
somewhat
You'll cut off.
reluctantly. Somewhat reluctantly. There's something about him that maybe unnerves you a little bit, or maybe.
Why does everybody hate me?
I don't hate you. I need you.
to start a war?
My experiment.
I want to say I'm like not sure of his actual motives.
Yeah.
Like no one is that much of a pacifist.
Yeah.
Come on, just do some damage. You can't really believe that you shouldn't hurt anyone. Look at what's going on.
So before you guys all headed out, you were told to meet in Nightstone at a particular location.
So I've known him for 2 years,
Yes.
Yep.
which basically means I've pretty much known him for 2 years too.
Yes.
In this life.
In this life, and they've known each other for 3.
Right.
Okay.
In this life.
You guys are to rendezvous at Nightstone at a location. Give me a D20 roll.
18.
At the city temple. The temple of the city, which you've been told is a temple to Lathander and also Myliki.
Did you?
Myliki?
Are you doing that
Myliki?
one?
No, hold on.
Okay.
'Cause I don't-
I need my player book.
There's notes. There's just general fucking notes.
I know. I don't want to type it all.
Okay, so meet in Nightstone.
Mhm. At the temple of Lathander.
Yeah. Here we go. Starting a new page.
Now, are you guys taking any factions? You remember the factions? Brotherhood of the Gauntlet, the Emerald Enclave, the Harpers, the Zentarum.
Not
I
until
feel
I see
like
what
we
everybody's
should, but I
about.
want to know what they are, and then I'll roll because I feel like we're gonna be together, no
Okay.
matter what it is, since we usually tool around as mercs together.
Okay.
So I'm willing to roll for that if you want to, Dwayne, but I don't remember what they all are.
The factions?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to join one until I figured out what everybody's about.
Is there where do you? Is
I'm
there a
already
place
part
for
of it.
factions
I'll probably
It's in the Dungeon Master's Guide or the Player's Handbook.
Yeah.
But basically, I'll give you the quick rundown on them. Nature-loving hippies. They believe in minimizing civilization, living in harmony with nature, balance and ecology.
Cult to the Gauntlet, Emerald
Emerald
Enclave,
Enclave.
Zentarum, and the Harpers.
We ran into
That's
them in Silvery Moon as well.
The Lord's Order, very proper. Civilization, follow the law. Cities are good. We should expand kingdoms, build new fortresses, increase trade.
What was that?
What's the Emerald Enclave? Is that the hippies?
Hippies.
What's Cult to the Gauntlet?
That's Brotherhood of the Gauntlet.
Brotherhood.
Is military might is best. We love fighting, mercenary work. We love being honorable and valiant in battle, brave.
Zentarum?
The Zentarum, also known as the Black Network, is making money and having power is the most important thing. If you have to be underhanded or downright evil in order to accomplish it, so be it. But money and power is the end goal.
The Harpers?
People shouldn't be trusted with money and power. And you should always work in secret, quietly, and discreetly in order to undermine the efforts of evil within society. And speak quietly, observe and report, and
Actually,
rogues
I feel
guild.
like that's where mine would go, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
okay.
Okay.
Just because
Harpers?
he doesn't really care about money or power, he's fascinated by Chinese most of the time, and
Yeah.
done with it.
Harper's is like a spy network,
Yeah.
right? You're very rarely going to identify someone openly as a Harper. They tend to speak in code to one another, but their aims are always what we would consider good.
So we don't always
Or
have to
benevolent.
be, we don't have to be a part of the same faction. by any means.
Which one is be more
It
likely
could-
to be interested in their research and nothing else?
In academic research,
Magic
the
research.
Lord's Order or the Harpers would be interested in that.
Okay.
The Zentarum are interested in research insofar as it could start a war, and they could make money off
So
it.
that could probably be you.
Zentarum?
Yeah, that's Zentarum.
Okay. Yep, that would be the
I
one.
just found other notes, and that's kind of where I'm putting this stuff.
Okay?
So meet in Nightstone at the Temple of Lathander. Did we have anything else there? Was it like at night? Did it matter?
Nope.
The Lord of Light? Is that what that is?
Z-H-E,
Oh god. Okay.
Wow, I
NT.
didn't have it right either.
Zent, Zahent, Aron.
A-R-I-N.
Does
ARI.
Harper's make sense? Do I need to figure out how to spell it? It makes
It-
sense, right?
Yeah. Just so you know, the Harpers and the Zentarum normally oppose each other. They like to undercut each other.
We've
That kinda
overcome our
makes sense.
differences in a brothel.
That makes sense, but also
Stealing
he
your
probably
car
doesn't know
wouldn't
that I'm a Harper.
Yeah,
Okay.
you also don't have to be like super involved with the faction.
Okay.
It's this is kind of like picking your religious denomination. That doesn't automatically mean that you're in church every Sunday.
Sorry, a little bit of an emergency. What is that hot tip that we got?
We're supposed to meet in Nightstone at the Temple of Lathander. And then we kind of picked factions.
We're supposed to meet who?
Each other.
I
No,
thought-
you guys are supposed to go down there and you'll meet your guide.
Which
down
would
there at the
probably be Gabrielle.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I would have figured we'd be telling
Your liaison for the area, who will help you in surveying the city and the woods around it.
Don't know if you want to pick a faction, but we kind of picked factions. You have a house though, right? Are you loyal to that house?
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing that's basically your faction.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily negate.
Do you have a political party you want to join? Because that's kind of what it is.
So, my house was like a healing house,
Yeah.
and I was sent on a mission over here, and it doesn't negate me joining another faction to further that goal.
Okay. Well, these are political factions. So
I
there
probably
was-
would have to join the hippies, because the what was it, the Emerald Enclave?
Yep.
It's mostly druids, right?
Druids, rangers, anyone who pulls
Nature-based.
nature-based, nature clerics.
I'm over
nature
here to find new
paladins.
herbs and.
So not the Brotherhood of the Gauntlet? Man, I don't know how you're gonna learn how to start a war from this guy. He seems like not the right dude for that shit.
Oh, okay. So, on the topic of that,
Yeah.
this is the herbalism kit we've been using.
You're
Okay.
I think he's got a new one.
Huh?
Do you have a new one?
No, it's the same one, but I just took all the notes that I made and like found the highlights for you.
Oh,
and
sweet.
like underlined everything that seemed of importance because everything
You
else
mean
is
about
just kind of like
factions?
fluff that you don't really need
Yeah.
to know. But this
Let's see what
is
he
Yeah, okay.
so this is the I basically this is almost useless unless you want to for some reason
so.
describe.
okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
it
one's
is
in the
there.
back. This is the actual table, but if you don't want to have to deal with that while you're handling downtime or whatever.
I'm probably
we're doing-
going to give it to you and tell you to just tell me what you got.
So I'm going to want to be doing this a lot,
okay.
but I don't think it's going to take up too much time.
What's
for
the
everybody
base
else.
assumption? How long do you need in order to scavenge?
So it
An hour?
says, yeah, so it says you can do it in downtime activities. So I actually think if it's in downtime, so it basically says like if we're walking down the road, I can keep my eye out for herbs.
Oh, cool.
Now, like I said, when I was
You see
doing
what my
Ernst,
symbol is?
I
What's
rolled
the
like
Harper
80
symbol?
times,
The
and
Harper.
those few potions I gave you
Yeah.
guys was what I
Harper
came up with
symbol.
after 80
Mhm.
rolls. So it gives you some basis for like how to not make it OP, but I already think it's so well balanced that it's
Okay.
not OP. Now there is, I don't know if I put it in here,
I'm probably going to make, if we're just straight up traveling, I'm probably going to have you make like
a high DC
a
check.
high DC check.
So
Something like that.
so herbalism check, like if it's on a long rest,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the check is 15.
Okay.
And I would say if it's on a short rest, because I'm not out in a familiar area or something, I'd say the DC would be like 20.
Mhm.
And if we're out like traveling and I'm keeping my eye out for something, maybe a DC of like 22 or something like that, and maybe only rolling on the common ingredients table or
Okay.
something like that. However, what I will add in about the common ingredients table is that the common ingredients table, while a few of these are absolutely useless from what I've done. However, the two wild sage root, so 4 out of 10. Let me say this different. 6 out of 10 are damn near useless. 4 out of 10, however, are the main ingredient I need to actually make anything.
Okay.
So this is the common ingredient table is the only place you can get wild sage root, which is what I need for potions.
Okay.
So differentiate, potions are instant effects and they're basically all based on healing, and then elixirs are
Like the weird stuff.
when you need to make like a potion of storm giant strength. But the thing is, you don't even roll to find out if you get the elemental water to make that unless you roll like a 2 to 4 or a 10 to 12 when you're rolling for these. And then the worm tongue petals are used to make poison.
Okay.
So 2 of the,
What's your favorite
I might
one?
make poison for him.
It's the continent.
The whole point of me
essentially, or
doing
the
this is
world.
because I like to give my party potions.
Cool.
I like to do that stuff. And so I
I remember we used this a little bit.
Yeah, but so this is like a quick hotkey for you.
Okay.
But if you want to just let me take care of it, I absolutely can. But there's like selling,
You can look
if
up
you
what
want, like
flavor
if
is.
I find a bunch of useless shit, and then it says on here, you can just ask me, okay, when I'm trying to sell something in a town, common, uncommon, rare, very rare, I can look up, because it tells you on here, or it tells you on one of these tables what they are.
Okay.
And then, you know, if it's,
deep and rock, are there like different
if
versions?
it's like a podunk town in the middle of nowhere, they're not gonna have any use for very rare items,
Right.
shit like that. And then the one other thing was, they do also have
Are you just looking at them? No, you're trying to build something.
Yeah.
the ingredients. So here's
You can click on
what,
that, it's
when
easy
you
to-
roll, these are the
easy.
herbs that you
I
get.
know, but I'm
But
gonna
then
click
here,
online. I'm gonna
this
see
is
if
the
you're just not
same,
in the
these
right
are the
spot.
actual herbs, and this is what they make. They have different rarities, and you could start me out only
I have it.
knowing what
You're just not
common
right.
herbs do, and then I
Okay.
would have to use extra downtime
Are you
to
getting into
identify or
the
toy with,
Mhm.
and then destroy certain
No.
herbs to
Okay,
make
so
it
that's
so more
You have
not
to go with
That's
Power
overpowered.
probably going to
campaign
be a
for
little
it to work.
complicated, having like some sort of leveling up on that.
Okay.
Like
But,
it
so
into
I'm
the
probably
campaign.
just going to give you access to all of it off the beginning and
Although
say that
one
you
of
have
the
like
thousands
an
of
herbalism
things
Oh,
book.
yeah, I'm under that,
Maybe
man.
anything?
I mean, I was sent
Yeah.
over
I'll
here
let
by
the
the
Yeah. I'm always under. I'm always signed in.
the
here.
Jurassic house.
So you have a book
Does
from
it
the House
say that
Yeah,
Jurassic.
because she sent me with an herbalism kit
Oh,
and an alchemist kit. I don't have to
crap.
try to
Yeah,
find
not
that.
just
Okay.
D&D Beyond, but you have to
Okay.
be in one of my campaigns that has.
But I have my
Yeah.
original copy of all that, and
I
if
have
you just want to,
save
So that's mine to make
everything
notes on and everything like
yeah,
this?
absolutely. And I underlined everything that
picture of
is of any sort of importance
Okay.
on there. And you can get
And you
into
don't
like
have to.
fucking up the
You don't have
potion,
to.
and it can
Name
make
the
people
character,
sick if you don't roll right.
and
when you're
then
making
when
it
you
on
follow the
DC
link,
check.
you can add one of your characters.
There's a lot of.
Okay.
It's fun for me because I'm
Yeah.
fucking super into that shit. But
Hey guys, can we do a new campaign for this one so Brandon can find everything easy and we
Yeah.
can still just put new characters in there?
okay,
Okay.
can I pull? I can just pull Torque out of this campaign and put it in a new one. In the one you're making.
Probably you can do just leave campaign and then join campaign.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
asking.
you should be able to.
Okay.
I'll send it out right now.
Are we going to start out with any sort of shit, or are we just basic starting kit?
Basic equipment.
Okay.
Level 2s. He's got a crafted duck. Wooden
You know
carved
what?
duck.
You can each take one uncommon.
Okay.
I didn't expect that at all.
Take one uncommon.
Join this.
Manage equipment.